Hello and welcome to Sideways. This week we're talking about the benefits of going into a situation without assuming any prior knowledge. Going back to basics, imagining that this is the first time you've ever experienced this situation, even if you've been through it countless times before. I can't remember quite what else we spoke about in this week's episode, apart from Martin's hilarious and harrowing tale related to the toilet. So if you are about to eat your tea, you might want to put the episode on pause for a while. Beginner's mindset. Good morning.
Good morning.
Your camera's in a different place.
Yeah, I know. Well, I think I've got the camera's not here. For some reason, the camera's been... I've taken it out. I don't know what's going on here, mate.
You look slightly more pixelated, which I have to say is quite a good look for you.
It's using the there.
Oh, you're back now. That's more like it.
Yeah,
I was a bit. To be honest, the previous view I had of you was a little bit close. It was almost like, you know, when someone talks to you and they invade your personal space.
I do, yeah. When you can actually feel their breath on your cheeks or on your face, yeah.
Exactly.
I don't like that, do you?
No, and that was the vibe I was getting off that first camera angle.
The virtual vibe, yeah, even over a distance.
Exactly.
Well, I'm sorry about that,
feel your
mate.
virtual breath on my virtual cheeks.
It's not a nice image, mate, is it?
No, not really, no.
Especially if it's a bit of a coffee breath going on this morning as well, I'd imagine. Same as you, is it? Or you tea?
No,
I've got breath.
No, I've got coffee. Have you got proper coffee, though? Have you got horrible instant shit?
No. I've brewed up. I tend to use the bean grinder.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Who got you that? That was a generous gift.
It was a very generous gift. I can't remember, some geezer. But it's one of those gifts that I use. You know, some gifts you get at Christmas. We talked about it, I think, on their podcast in the past. That you get a gift or you've given a gift and it's not really ever used. It can end up in a drawer, can't it? But certainly the bean grinder is one I use on a regular basis. So that was very well placed.
It ought to probably turn up on your gratitude list sometime, won't it?
I think it already has been on there once, hasn't it?
I think it probably has been.
Yeah.
Well, I've got my coffee. I've also lit my candle. Have you lit a candle?
I haven't actually, no. Does it make you feel calm?
It's funny you should say that because the name of the candle is Calm.
Is it?
Yeah,
well,
so that's a bit freaky and spooky.
That is a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, good. Well, I'm feeling quite calm as well.
Good.
So should we crack on? Should we crack on?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. I was going to say some more stuff, but no need. It'll make the episode too long. But the heading of my notes this week is beginner's mindset.
Oh, where'd you get that idea from?
We sort of stumbled across it last week, didn't we?
We did.
Whilst recording, and you introduced the phrase beginner's mindset, which I hadn't heard of at that point. But it fits in quite nicely after adaptability from last week.
It does.
But also because we've done episodes on, we've done scarcity mindset, done abundance mindset, growth mindset. We did one of those as well.
Yeah.
So we're sort of covering another base here, aren't we?
Another mindset.
If we're nothing if not thorough.
Do you think after we've done this, we'll have covered all the mindsets?
Well, I stumbled across another one when I was doing my research, so that might be next week's episode. I'll come on to that.
All right, then. It's negative mindset, a mindset must be, mustn't it?
Well, no, it was the expert mindset.
Oh, the expert mindset.
Yeah.
Oh, well, neither of us will know anything about that.
Sorry?
Neither of us will know anything about that.
We're not experts on it. We have to approach it with a beginner's mindset.
Exactly. Hang on. That's playing with my mind now.
Well, basically, it's the opposite of what I'm going to talk about today. So
okay,
you can make your own mind up on it.
All right, I can make my own mindset up on it.
You can, but we'll cross that bridge next week potentially.
Right. Yeah.
Unless I change my mind during the week, I could change my mind. I could have a changing mindset, couldn't I? Always changing mindset. Anyway, before we start,
there
was a story I was reading about a man in Florida who is suing Dunkin' Donuts. Do we have any of those in the UK?
I don't think we do. No, I don't think so. I've never seen one.
No, I haven't. No, But a guy had gone to Dunkin' Donuts. It went into the toilet, and it was after using one of the toilets in the branches. He decided he's going to sue Dunkin' Donuts because he went in there and it exploded, covering him in human feces, urine, and debris, which I assume must be toilet paper and stuff, unless anything else is down there.
I apologise for any of our listeners who happen to be eating their tea at the moment.
So that apparently he needed some mental health care and counselling after the incident.
I'm not surprised. I'd say that was trauma, wouldn't it?
Yeah, have you had people coming in after being covered in shite or anything from an exploding toilet?
Hang on, let me think.
Try to think.
It's not ringing a bell.
Is it not? No. Well, it's a fairly rare thing. I think it was the odd incident. Apparently, there potentially someone had reported there was a problem with grumbling noises in the toilet before. But if I ever explode like that, it must be horrid, mustn't it?
Yeah, I mean that. I'd say that'd be pretty unpleasant in your own toilet, let alone in the toilet of Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah. We better not say the word. We better not say that. Name check them too much. We might get sued, mightn't we?
Well, surely we're only reporting. Aren't we just reporting
We are an incident.
An incident, yeah.
Yeah, probably okay. But it's reminded me. It's a bit like the opposite of the Sillet Bang advert. Remember the Sillet Bang advert? The strapline was a bang and the grime is gone.
Yeah.
In this case, bang, and he's covered in shite. All of a sudden.
Well, they obviously weren't using Sillet Bang. We're name checking a lot of companies.
We are, aren't we? There are other cleaning agents available, aren't there?
Yeah, we'll be sent a case of Sillet Bang, won't we?
Perhaps it will.
I don't really want a case of Dunkin' Donuts, if I'm honest.
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't really see the fascination with donut. I mean, I like a donut, but it's always amazed me that you could create a business on the basis of making donuts.
Yeah, I know.
It's a bit weird, isn't it?
It's been going for many years. I think they were there when my dad went to work in America for a while. And I think he came back, and this was in the 70s.
Yeah.
He talked about Dunkin' Donuts and Baskin Robin as well. That's another
what?
one. Yeah, Baskin Robin. I think it's
Baskin Robin?
Yeah, it was a chain of things out there. I think it was ice creams or something.
Did he have any toilets explode on him?
He didn't. No. Have you ever had any toilet-based incidents like that at all? Yeah.
Can't think of any. I can think of a couple of times where the seat has not been securely affixed, which can cause a bit of difficulty if you're not careful. And of course, the other one that I have avoided a couple of times is where there's a crack in the seat, and obviously you don't want to sit on that because, well, you can just imagine what would happen. You might get yourself caught in it, mightn't you?
You stand up, you pressure down and the gap opens, stand up, bang, and you're caught in the toilet.
Exactly. Thanks for that very descriptive visualisation of the problem.
It reminded me a little bit of the. I think it was one of the first times I went to the Reading Festival. I'm not sure you were there on the occasion, but because you remember the outside or the toilets there, the urinals for the men were just basically raised long aluminium troughs.
Correct.
And, slightly higher at one end, so that all the piss ran down to the downpipe at the other end.
Yeah.
And I remember walking. I thought, I'm going to try and get near to the top end because otherwise everyone else's piss runs by you, doesn't it? It's a bit unpleasant. And I was walking along there, and even though the troughs were massive, people had still managed to piss on the floor. I mean, they do, don't they? And it was all sopping wet. I remember going on, and I slipped, and to save myself, my elbow went in the trough. So I had a pissy elbow, and I wasn't even. I wasn't near the top end, unfortunately, so it was other people's piss. I remember looking up, there's some Dutch Hells Angels laughing as I went down. And as I got to my feet, I thought, I've just been covered in Dutch Hells Angel piss, which you don't want, do you? I think it was day one at this festival as well. So,
isn't that lucky? Isn't that lucky being covered in Dutch Hells Angels piss? I think it is, isn't it?
Well, I've heard of Lucky Heather, but I haven't heard of that one.
Were Elbow playing at that particular festival?
They weren't even around in those days, but that would have been ironic, couldn't it?
I wish I'd known that years ago. I'd have called you Piss Elbow all these years.
I didn't tell anyone. This is the first time it's come out. It's sort of. I'd left
Is it
that one.
cathartic? How's it feeling?
It's all right, actually.
Share that.
Yeah, it is because I knew everyone would laugh at me at the mates when I went back to where they were, so I let it go.
What did you do? So did you just have a t-shirt on?
No, I had a leather jacket on, so it was so that was a bit pissy. Anyway,
yeah, that's fantastic. I don't know where we're going from there, but it's not going to beat that, I don't think.
it reminded me. I had flashback. To be honest, when I was doing the research. Yeah.
PTSD? Do you think that's post-traumatic stress?
I think it is. When you've been laughed at by a bunch of Dutch Hells Angels, it's going to stick with you for a long time.
Well, at least they laughed at you, and they weren't angry with you.
They weren't aggressive towards me, no.
No.
Which they were.
It's hard to be aggressive with anyone who's just put their elbow in some piss, isn't it?
It is. You've got something on your top lip there. Have you just blown your nose or something? You got some?
Have I? I don't know. It might just be my face.
Oh, that's
Is it gone?
Yeah, it's gone.
Oh dear.
Anyway, should we get on to the subject matter?
Yeah, we better.
Now, I looked up, as I say, I'd heard of this beginner's mindset concept before, but
That surprises me because you quite like a bit of Buddhism, don't you? And I think I'm pretty sure that's where it originated.
It did. I mean, it's actually a concept from Zen Buddhism. It's called Shoshin.
Is it?
Yes, and I had heard of it, but I didn't really put the two together.
Right. Okay.
But once I did my research, that's where it fell in. It falls in, and it's very relevant to our podcast, really, and the thrust of what we talk about. So,
well, it's certainly very relevant to very relevant to recovery.
Yeah, it is. It is. But I've got a definition that I'm just going to read out. A beginner's mindset entails approaching a situation as though you are a beginner. It's quite obvious, really, isn't it? Regardless of your experience. By being open-minded and listening to others without prejudgment, you can obtain knowledge and creative, innovative solutions from those who also have great insights and wisdom that you may find valuable. And it is invaluable when I'm in recovery, but it's invaluable when I'm running support groups as well, because it's I think it helps me to remain, or now I've researched it, I think I will adopt it more. It does help me to remain grounded and to learn new things all the time about it.
Yeah, I suppose one of the things that that we share is we probably find ourselves often in situations, me, my work, and you when you're running groups, that someone starts to say something and something in you says, oh, right, okay, I know where we're going here.
Yeah.
And that's a kind of absence of beginner's mindset, and kind of getting rid of that, getting away from that and thinking, no, hang on, this is the literal first time I've heard this, because this person's story is unique, this person's experience is unique, is definitely a big help to creating a more valuable and helpful connection.
Yeah, and there's lots of benefits to it, and you've hit upon a couple there. But I've got a little list, really. I just wanted to go through with you. The first one was really increased learning and growth, which you just sort of mentioned there, because when we approach something with a beginner's mindset, we're more likely to be open to new information and ideas, and this can lead to increased learning and growth. So you're absolutely right. That was the first point on there, which is which sort of encapsulates the base idea of the whole concept of a beginner's mindset, or a bit of Shoshin. Mm-hmm. The second point was improved problem solving, perhaps a little bit more corporate, this, but I think it was, again, quite relevant. A beginner's mindset can help us solve problems more effectively when we're not attached to our own ideas. So we're more likely to be open to new solutions. I think.
I think I can see there's an obvious link in terms of thinking about work.
Yeah.
I think if you define problem solving in its broadest terms, then what it gives you is an opportunity to avoid making assumptions about the route that you need to take in order to change this thing.
Yeah.
And think, okay, if I was meeting this for the very first time and I had no knowledge, what would I need? What information would I need to gather? What would I need to think about? And I think, that's similarly relevant, again, in groups or in my work or in pretty much anything we ever do. There are benefits sometimes to fast tracking to what you know about a situation, but quite often making those assumptions has inherent danger.
Yeah, it does. Do you think? Yeah, you're right. Because I think we can shortcut straight to what we know.
Yeah,
and we've talked about that. We shortcut straight to that position where we're comfortable, that we're confident in what we're going to say, which can be useful from time to time. But I think if we don't go straight to that option and think about it further, yeah, we do come up with new solutions and new ideas, and our experiences grow. Then I think we grow as a person, don't we? We get new ideas, and that's the basis of growth, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
The next one was enhanced creativity, which again moves. So you with your art stuff you're doing at the moment, you're.
That's quite a good example, because I have, it's easy for me to have a beginner's mindset with anything artistic because I am a beginner,
effectively a beginner, yeah.
But I tell you, I think it's a good example because it's quite useful when you do something that you know nothing about. And I am learning a lot. I'm not necessarily getting any better, but I'm learning a lot, right? But it's striking when you make a comparison with a situation in which you are quite patently not knowledgeable.
Yeah.
And the way that you approach lots of other things in your life. There's something really refreshing and freeing and liberating about thinking, well, I know nothing, so I'm just open to anybody's suggestion. I'm going to pick something up from there. I'm going to listen to what that person says. I mean, it's just you wouldn't want to exist in that way in all aspects of your life, but it's quite a lovely way to exist for a bit because there's no pressure on you. You don't have to be anything, do you? You can just say, well, I'm a sponge. I'm just going to take it all in and see what happens.
Yeah. No, you're right. And I think I've suffered from, in fact, I was doing some artwork this week.
Good to hear it.
It is. Well, it's been a little while. Sometimes I sort of go in patches, but I was doing some, and I was using some acrylic pens, which I hadn't used before.
Pen, don't you?
I hadn't used it before when I was doing a canvas, so it was nice to use it alongside normal brushwork and stuff. But I hadn't used that before, and so I didn't know how I was going to do it. And some of it has been a little bit problematic, but I've been able to solve it and overcome the issues. So yeah, that's been, and I would have taken an expert's mindset on that. Well, I know I've done all this before, bang, and I'd have cracked on, and I'd have done something I'd have been less pleased with. I think it would have been less enjoyable. Yeah,
I think there's something else in there as well, isn't there? There's that sort of the expectation that you should have an expert's mindset.
Yeah,
that's the thing, because when you're doing something you're good at, when you're competent artistically, there's something instinctive that almost wants you to say, well, I should know how to do this because this is an area where I feel comfortable.
Yeah.
And I think that's the trap. It's good for us to recognize that just because we have some competence in this area, we don't have to know everything about it. It's okay to still be open to new ideas and new experiences, new concepts.
Yeah, very much so. I was even thinking, perhaps perhaps an art class would do me good as well.
Yeah,
to open up to new art, because things change a lot since I was sat in a classroom learning about art. That's for sure.
There you go.
But anyway, the next point was increased openness and curiosity, which again is sort of leading on from what we've already said, really.
But that was what we were just talking about. Wasn't it? It's like it's obvious to see that. It's easy to see that when you're doing something you know nothing about.
Yeah.
But we lose something of that ability to enhance our learning and our creativity when we assume knowledge that we don't need to assume.
Yeah.
But, if you can go back and say, as you've just said, maybe I'd benefit from going and doing an art class. Well, you almost certainly would, wouldn't you? Because whatever you learn, you're going to learn something.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, absolutely.
Even if you're just learning about the approach that other people take to the same sort of situation, and that can be really inspiring in itself.
Yeah, it can. I think it's, but you're right. I was just maybe think about sometimes when we expect within ourselves to know the answer straight away.
That's what I mean.
And perhaps portray that to other people as well. I suppose when I'm sitting in groups, facilitating a group, people are always almost expecting me to have an answer.
Yes.
And then if I don't know the answer, I'll almost make it up, I suppose, or I'll almost struggle a little bit. But what that does do, it makes me think I'm going to find out a little bit more about that.
Yeah. So that is a good example. So it's giving you an opportunity there because you're saying, okay, I'm recognizing a gap here. I can go and find out something else about it.
Yeah.
But what I'm suggesting to you is that sometimes it's quite liberating for us to say, do you know what? I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's quite difficult.
And when
to say that.
when you're in an area of competence where other people see you as competent, it can feel quite difficult to say that. But I think actually it's not only good for you, but it's also good for the other person. It's not good for us to appear infallible and as if we know everything. It certainly is terrible for a therapist.
Yeah, yes, you're right. I think it's terrible for most people, which is why, when I came across this concept of expert mindset, it started to make me think of people I know that portray that when they clearly don't have an expertise in there. But we'll come on to that next week. Okay. It's all looking towards doing that next week now. It seems to fit in quite nicely.
All roads lead to Rome, don't they?
Well, they lead to the expert mindset. Yeah. Do you know where Rome is? You're an expert on Italy.
I've been to Rome. You're right. Been to Rome.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I'm an expert on it.
No. It's huge, isn't it? I've not driven through it. Have been driven through it. Yes.
Yeah. If I went there, I'd adopt a beginner's mindset.
You would, wouldn't you? Yes. What's that Colosseum thingy? that old ruin over there. What's that all about?
Exactly.
They just pull that down, put some nice flats in its place. Anyway, so generally it seemed like the beginner's mindset, there didn't seem to be anything negative about it, really. There's all a lot of positive stuff, and there's a few little tips about how to create a beginner's mindset if you are a little bit stuck. And there's just a couple of tips I wanted to go through that I found in the research. And the first one was, ask questions. Quite straightforward, really. But if you're faced with something new or faced with a situation where we don't think you know a great deal about it, don't be afraid to ask questions, which again goes back to that competency issue. If you're running groups or if you're in therapy or with someone, it can be quite tricky, can't it? If you, but you've got to avoid sort of making assumptions. I think
I think that's a good suggestion. If you don't know something about it, you're unsure about something, ask questions. But I go a step further and say, even if you think you do know, ask questions.
Yeah.
And I think that's Bob Fleming. And I think that's it's particularly true in therapy, because just because someone says something and you think, oh yeah, I get that, I understand that, it's always worth investigating it. It's always worth asking them to tell you a bit more about it. I'll explain that a bit more. I think I'm understanding you, but I want to make sure. And you can use that same approach anywhere in life. People will always be happy to tell you about what it is they're feeling or thinking.
New ideas. When someone introduces a new idea, don't dismiss them immediately, which sometimes we can do. Try to consider them with an open mind, and you'll be surprised what you learn. That's what I've just reading that off of the research.
That one takes me straight back to my corporate days.
Does it?
You'd see so many people doing that, wouldn't you? That won't work. That's not going to work. Yeah, we've done that before. That one. Yeah. And it's so, apart from being very narrow, it just takes all the energy out of the room. Yeah,
it does. Yeah. Which leads on to the next one, which would being willing to experiment, which we've already sort of touched on. Don't be afraid to try new things. That's the best way to learn and grow.
Agreed.
And be patient. It can take time to develop a beginner's mindset. It's not something you can just do overnight. You can't suddenly become someone with a beginner's mindset. It can take a little while to ingrain that into the way you think. That's
true of any change you're trying to make in yourself, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Quite often we struggle to make changes because we expect sudden, immediate success. And then when we don't get it, we stop trying. But, when you do that, things don't tend to change very readily.
Don't. And there's a little phrase, I wasn't quite sure how I was interpreting it really, but it said to cultivate a beginner's mindset, one of the best places to start is with yourself. Does that mean you adopt a beginner's mindset about yourself?
Well, you can do, can't you? I mean, I think that is quite a good place to start. A curiosity about. We spoke about it last week, didn't we? The issue of ever-changing identity.
Yeah.
Who am I?
Yeah.
I think you can adopt a beginner's mindset with that. And certainly when you go into recovery, the beginner's mindset is about, well, who am I? Who am I now?
Yeah.
here I am without drink, without drugs. This is a new chapter. I think that is the perfect place for a beginner's mindset aimed at oneself.
Yeah, I think you're right, and it's because I think when you're going into recovery, if you're going in, and I was probably a bit like it myself, but I see it a lot in other people. You think you know the answers. You think you go in with an expert mindset. Where you're going in, and it will stop you assessing, stop you taking on board wisdom, because you don't want other people to tell you what to do. You want to you think you can do it yourself. And it's only time tells that you really can't. And so you have to be open to those new ideas.
We don't like not knowing, do we?
We don't, but we go in with these preconceived ideas about recovery as well, which is...
I think we see not knowing as being in some way weak or less than. And I think that's the thing that needs to shift. You know, we need to appreciate that not knowing and accepting and admitting that we don't know is a show of strength and courage.
Yes, yeah, but that is a tough part of the whole beginner's mindset thing to adopt, I think.
It is, but you know, again, in recovery, if you're going in and you're saying, "Listen, I'm frightened. I don't know how this is going to pan out, but I'm ready to change and I'm ready to learn. And I want to listen and I want to hear what other people have got to say."
Absolutely.
You're in a much better position than if you go in saying, "Well, I know how this is going to go. I know what I've got to do. It's fine. I've got it all taped." I mean, It's pretty obvious to see who's more likely to have the most successful period of recovery.
But it's surprising how many people do come in with that attitude.
Yeah, because vulnerability is difficult.
It is. Yeah, it is, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. It's difficult to accept. It's difficult to portray.
Yeah.
I mean, it's why, to a certain degree, it's why I still go along to the fellowship meetings. Because although I don't follow the 12 steps, I still find the whole concept quite interesting. And I always learn stuff when I go to the fellowship meetings.
Yeah, because that sort of desire to learn stuff is a beginner's mindset, isn't it? It's I know a lot about recovery because I've done this for 12, 13 years, but I also recognize I can still pick up new stuff from other people who are at a different stage in that, you know, I'm going to have to say journey. And so that's a definition of a beginner's mindset. I
think so, and it is. So when I was doing the research and looking back, I thought, well, I have sort of adopted that over my time in recovery.
I don't think you'd have been able to sustain your recovery if you hadn't.
No, I don't think I would have done. And it is the new ideas I get, but I do obviously get inspiration from it as well, which helps my recovery. But I learn stuff the whole time, even from people that are day one coming in, and they'll say things, and I think that's a different way of looking at it. Or that's an interesting idea. Which again, you get different people at the fellowship, so you get different ideas. So it's always worthwhile going.
And that is beginner's mindset.
So I've always, when I thought, when I've done the research, I've had a bit of that, but perhaps I could do it better. Yeah, perhaps I could have a bit more of that. So I will.
But your realization that perhaps you could do it better is also beginner's mindset.
Yeah, it all works into itself, doesn't it? Yeah.
It does, yeah.
There's a few little quotes about beginner's mindset I just wanted to go through with you, just as we're rounding this up. Allow yourself to be a beginner. Nobody starts off being an expert, and that's one that's I've seen quite a lot in the past, but it works in quite nicely here because you don't, do you? No one goes from 0 to 100 in one step.
No, you've got to allow yourself to be a beginner, sure, but you've also got to put yourself in a position where you give yourself a chance to experience it. Because it's one thing saying, "Oh, that area of life, I wouldn't know anything about that," you know. But you've got to expose yourself to it. That's where you really learn.
Yeah, you do, and it encapsulates that really in this next point, which is when you adopt a beginner's mindset, you let go of the ego that tells you that you should not try new things because you might not be good at them, which we've touched on in the past, haven't we?
Yeah. I mean, I definitely wouldn't be doing my drawing course if I'd listened to my ego.
No, you wouldn't. And it's the first time we've mentioned ego in this episode. But I think it's quite relevant. But it's quite a nice way to wrap this up. Apart from just a little quote from Nelson Mandela. We haven't had a Mandela quote for a little while, have we?
Yeah, we've got him in defensive midfield this week, have we?
He almost like the old sweeper, but just sitting in back four rather than behind. Yeah. he said, "I never lose. I either win or learn."
Wow, that's very good. Oh, Mandela, I'm definitely playing him at the start.
Yeah, he's good, isn't he? Yeah, he's good.
He's been impressive in training, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's got a good first touch, hasn't he, the lad? Anyway, do you know, I haven't got anything. I didn't write down anything on my gratitude list this week.
Oh, well, shall I go? I kick off then, and then you can be thinking about it for a few seconds.
Yeah, I know what I'm going to put down, but yeah, go on.
Okay. Well, funny enough, and I promise you I didn't think about this. This is not planned, but I have genuinely got learning on my gratitude list.
Have you? Right,
and the reason I got learning is because I'm doing some training at the moment. I'm doing some extra training, some therapy stuff. And I'd forgotten how much I like learning. I've forgotten how much I like the kind of structure of it and the re-examination of kind of received wisdom and the things that I believe after working in this area for so long. It's lovely. It's really inspiring and stimulating. And, I feel very grateful for, even though as we get older, our bodies start to be slightly less effective than they used to be. As long as we avoid any sort of cognitive impairment, we can keep learning and growing spiritually and emotionally till we draw our last breath. And that really, to me, is something to be grateful for.
It is. Yeah, no, it's a good point. And it's much wider and more impactful than mine, which I've already mentioned. It was going back. Well, is the acrylic paint pens.
I know how much you like an acrylic pen.
Well, I'm grateful for them because, it was my younger daughter Lizzie, who's an art teacher. She bought me some for our birthday, and a set of them. And I'd sort of tinkered with them, but it was the first time I've used them in a serious manner. I thought, these are good, these are fun. There's a lot more for me to learn how to use them properly and to get the right results. But it's I'm adopting a beginner's mindset towards them, and I'm enjoying them thoroughly. So I'm grateful.
You said yours was kind of less. I don't remember the word you used, less significant or whatever. But it isn't really, is it? Because it's an illustration of how something quite simple, if you think about it in the right way, can open up a whole new avenue of learning and experience.
Yeah.
So there we are.
That's a good illustration of that. You're right. The feature we normally do here is the 100 skills that every person should master off of that list that you sent me. And I've picked the one I've picked off this week is make small talk.
Oh my God.
Is that a skill, or is that something you should avoid? I mean,
personally, I hate it.
Yeah, I don't like it.
I cannot abide it, which is one of the reasons I hate sort of social gatherings and parties and stuff. I don't want to talk inanely to groups of people. I don't mind having a conversation, one-on-one with someone or a couple of people, but no small talk, no thanks, no.
It's tough, but I find that I use it as almost like a fishing experiment, really, when I make small talk and wait for that point of overlap of interests to come in, and eventually you find something and bang, you're away. But it's tough. It can be tough. I think I don't particularly like it. I find it quite. I suppose I've learned that it's a necessary part of life, and it is the way to get to people. To get to know people better, you have to start that. You have to have a beginner's mindset towards your relationship with that person.
See, I think, my observation is that obviously when we both worked in the corporate world, we both had to engage in small talk.
You're right, absolutely.
Part of the game, right?
Yeah.
And my observation is that over the years, you and I have diverged. You're good at small talk. I mean, you can sit with a group of people and you can talk to them because I can watch it. I can see it happening. I just can't be bothered to do it anymore. I'm just not going to do it. So, I'm much more likely to come across as a bit offish and, not very friendly, whereas you will be able to talk to anyone. And so that's the way I think you and I position small talk. As you say, you don't particularly like it, but you see it as a necessary means to an end. I couldn't give a stuff about it.
You don't care about it. No, you're at that age.
I'm just not going to do it.
You're just a bit grumpy, aren't you?
Yeah. I'll talk to you about something worthwhile.
Yeah.
I'm not going to chat about nothing. Nah.
You're the sort of person who bursts a kid's football as it comes into your garden. Me. Chuck it back over to them all deflated.
I don't think you can equate cruelty to children with a dislike of small talk, but
it was a long stretch. You're right.
Yeah, it bloody is a long stretch.
Okay, well, we'll go on to the music quiz.
Yeah.
On this day in music, but which year?
Yeah.
Okay, now, you may know this one because I know it's a band you particularly like, Foreigner.
I've seen Foreigner.
Yeah, so have I, unfortunately. I want to know what Love Is. When was that number one in the UK?
Okay, this is going to be early 80s. That was on Foreigner 4, wasn't it, I think?
Oh, God knows.
Or was it No, it wasn't. It was the album after that.
Was it?
So it's probably mid-80s. It's probably 84, 85. I'm going to say 84.
Oh, I should have said 85, mate. You'd have got a 2-pointer on that one.
Oh, well, I got a 1-pointer then.
You got a 1 point. It's 85. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Now, the next one, I'm not sure we've had this before. I couldn't be bothered to look back.
I'll still get it wrong.
Well, exactly. Yeah, that's what I wouldn't have realised. I wouldn't have been able to work out the answer myself. But do you know when Dolly Parton was born? Have we had that before?
No, that is ringing a bell.
It is ringing a bell, isn't it? Anyway, her birth. We can't have been doing this for a year. Perhaps we have this.
No, I'll tell you what I'll tell you why I think she came up before. Because I can't remember whether we spoke about this at the time, but I remember you asked me about someone. Because is this birth?
Yeah, when
she was born?
Yeah,
I'm sure we talked about someone, and then it actually turned out that they hadn't been born at that point of the year where we were talking about them, and they were actually born at a different time, which might have been January if it was Dolly Parton, right? But I'm still going to get it wrong.
It's 19th of January, so it's a couple of days past her birthday. But happy birthday, Dolly, if you're listening.
Yeah, happy birthday. Yeah. Hello, Dolly.
Yeah, everyone's hero. So do you know which year she was born?
Okay, so I'm going to go 1946.
Yeah. 2 points, bang on, son. 1946.
I've never got 3 points, I don't think, have I?
I think it's your all-time high.
I don't think if I've got 3 points, I've certainly never done better than that.
No, you might. Wow. The last one is which year someone died.
Yeah.
And it's Mark E. Smith from The Fall.
Oh, crikey.
Yeah. Now, he died at the age of 60. So, yes.
Oh, this is going to be tricky. 60. Okay.
He was someone I sort of got into later on after the Fall were quite big in the late 70s during the punk era. Never really into the Fall, but it was later on. I think 2 or 3 years later after that, I started to listen to the Fall, and I remember my dad heard me listening to him, and he was quite interested in some of the lyrics.
Was he? Yeah, he was quite a difficult. From what I can gather, he's quite a difficult man.
Yeah, I think he was. Yeah.
I'm thinking it's the late part of the 2010s, the 2015 onwards. I'm going to say 2017.
You got a point, mate. 2018. Yes, your all-time high.
Yes. Do you know what? I had a funny feeling I was going to do all right this morning with this.
You got each of those questions you scored on, which has never happened before.
I've been in rare form, haven't I, today?
Yeah. I'm going to play you alongside Mandela.
I should be playing up front with that sort of performance.
You would, yeah.
I might pop one away like I did against Railway Rovers.
That was it. Yeah, you've certainly hit the top bins, weren't you, virtually, with those questions?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I'm quite pleased. That's made my day, that is.
Yeah, 4 out.
I'll tell you what, I'm easily pleased.
You are, aren't you?
That's going on my gratitude list next week.
Is it? You actually got 4 out of 6 points possible. Yeah. It's a good result, mate.
Thanks very much.
You've still got something to strive for, so don't get complacent.
No, I won't. I'll still adopt a beginner's mindset next week.
And then that's a great way to wind this episode up, isn't it?
All right. And just, if you're listening, be careful not to put your elbow in any piss.
Especially Hell's Angels piss.
All right.
See you later.
Laters.
Bye.
Sideways was created by Graham Landy and Martin Pankhurst. If you want to read more about our work or sort through the extensive archive of past episodes, just visit grahamlandywellbeing.co.uk/sideways-podcast. You can follow us on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram at Sideways Podcast, and you can email us if you have a question or if there's something you'd like us to cover. But most of all, we want to tell you how grateful we are that you come and listen, and we ask that if you've enjoyed what you've heard, that you spread the word. And we'll see you next week.